In spring, Japanese knotweed looks like pink asparagus tips pushing their way through the ground. Before long, the stem will turn purple and the leaves will unfurl. Alarmingly, this invasive weed can grow up to 10 centimeters a day, and the longer you ignore it, the bigger it will get. In this TCM video, you'll learn how to identify Japanese knotweed in the spring, learn how climate change is having an impact, learn why it's so essential to identify Japanese knotweed, and also how to avoid penalties, property damage, and everyone's favourite group of people. That's right, the neighbours. Spring identification. In early spring, you can identify Japanese knotweed when its shoots start to emerge from the ground. These will look like pink asparagus tips that eventually turn purple. As temperatures climb, so too does Japanese knotweed, and during this season it undergoes three main changes. First, the leaves on the bud, i.e. the tip of the shoot, will unfurl. Second, the leaves will turn bright green, and third, the stem will grow rapidly, sometimes up to a metre in as little as 10 days. Yes, from late spring to early summer, Japanese knotweed sure does grow, but it's actually this growth and its distinctive shape that makes it so easy to identify. And a quick note on Japanese knotweed flowers. Japanese knotweed can flower, but it tends to flower at the end of summer or early autumn, so you won't be able to identify Japanese knotweed by its flowers in the spring. A quick note on climate change. Japanese knotweed does not waste any time in the spring. As temperatures start to climb, so too does this invasive pest. Worryingly, experts are seeing Japanese knotweed shoots emerge earlier and earlier on in the year, and they believe this is due to climate change. Sometimes they come in as early as mid-February. Yes, mid-February. This is probably due to climate change, as the UK is having warmer winters with every year. And what plant heralds from hot, volcanic, ashy parts of the world? Yes, you're right, this creep. Summer also means this plant is spreading larger and faster than ever before. It's really not good. Not good, get it? Get it? Not good. Why identifying Japanese knotweed in the spring is essential. Identifying Japanese knotweed is essential because the longer you leave it unchecked, the more it grows. And the more it grows, the more ground and property it can infiltrate. And the more it infiltrates, the harder it is to remove. And the harder it is to remove, the more time is needed to remove it. And the more time it takes to remove it means a more expensive job all round. And breathe. As you can see, the longer you leave it, the more destruction it can cause. The second reason it's essential to identify Japanese knotweed is because you don't want to get in trouble with the law. That's right, the UK have enacted various laws surrounding Japanese knotweed to protect landowners, homeowners and the like. For instance, if you have Japanese knotweed growing in your garden and allow it to spread into the wild, you could be prosecuted under the Wildlife and Countryside Act of 1981. But for more info, please see our video on Japanese knotweed laws, which can be found here or here. I never know where to point. The third reason why it's essential you'll want to identify Japanese knotweed in the spring is because you might get yourself in trouble with everyone's favourite group of people. As if grumbling about how much space your car takes up on the shared driveway wasn't enough, if your neighbours find out you have Japanese knotweed growing in your garden, you will think about those arguments about the driveway as though it were a dream. In short, if you allow Japanese knotweed to spread from your garden into your neighbour's garden, they may exercise their legal right to sue you for private nuisance. And although rare, sometimes these cases can wind up in court. If you remember only one thing from this video, please let it be this. If you have Japanese knotweed growing in your garden or on your land, please take steps to remove it immediately. Ideally by professionals, because after all, no one wants to argue with the neighbours, have financial difficulties or find their fence uprooted by this invasive weed. If you suspect you have Japanese knotweed growing on your land or in your garden, please feel free to head over to our website to upload photos for official and free identification. Otherwise, get yourself educated and learn more about Japanese knotweed with our other videos. Watch more here, and bye for now.